also, I think, a percentage here is that we have here's one thing, I would say it is also 100% because it's not really a statistic. The direction of the patch, I think the patch is totally suggesting to pick up a jungler, decide on a jungler, right? For this, so we'd be seeing a retribution. We'd be seeing at least one retribution now.
I'm saying people get 2 retributions.
Even 2 retributions. They're rolling. So here's the thing. I'm curious about lineups without retribution now because I think it would be a very difficult lineup, right? Because you get a lot of benefit by having retribution, especially if you're doing the jungle.
Shinbu, there's a thing about side laners getting the Raptor Machete as well.
Yeah.
So
they're actually
now, they don't have that option anymore. I mean, if they go retribution, then that's fine. You can go for Raptor Machete.
But still, your lane.
But still, you won't have the flicker.
Yeah,
you won't have the purify. You won't have the others.
And the enemy on your lane will have the flicker. We might have an execute. You know, and if they win their lane, because right now I would say this is 100%. You have to win your lane. You have to win. I mean, I won't say
it's almost always certain that you have to win.
I digress. It's not a 100%, but the patch also suggests. I'm pretty certain about it. You win your lane, and you should win your lane.
The patch tells us a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Win your lane.
Yeah.
Fight.
Oh yeah, fight for your lane, because if you really lose that lane, your enemy will have a very big advantage to you. They don't even need to rotate. They just need to push. They just need to push. And here's the thing, because of that shield mechanic, Butters, you get the shield mechanic, right? If you shove a lane, you get the shield mechanic. You get more gold as you hit the shield. And the shield means maximum uptime for the turret. If you have maximum uptime for the turret, and you're dead, you're not in your lane, that means your turret will be killing the minions. So, that's a lot of uptime for the turret. That's a lot of enemy minions that might not be put into your pocket, right? So, that's, again, your enemy got a lot of gold, and they have a lot of ways to deny you of gold as well. And that's the thing. Win your lane. I would suggest win your lane.
Yeah, and look at this. Omega going straight for the Jawhead and the Ruby. Now, these are 2 dueling side laners.
Yeah.
If they are gonna go to the side lane, I mean, Jawhead is one of those picks that can go to the jungle as well, and we've been talking about this. Jawhead is probably one of the best roles or best heroes to fill that jungle role.
Look at this, Butters. It's the first time we're seeing the likes of Ruby getting first pick now, right? Project Next.
This is Project Next, and if you think about it, for the side of Bren Esports, you have Yu Zhong, Chango, and Cho. So I'm guessing for Bren Esports that this Cho is going to be the tank, but Chango, this is something that we have to see because it's not as strong as the previous patch.
Yeah.
There are some nerfs that happened.
Yes.
It gave her capability to fight early and to give slows a bit of a hit. So I'm kind of 50-50 on the Chango, but still, the meteor shower is the same.
Very strong in the lane. Establish a lot of pressure in the lane. It actually clears the lane quite quickly. Also flexible on the side lanes. Very rewarding if you get into the AXP lane. Totally okay even if you put on the gold lane. But I do believe, Chango is just very, very safe right now for the running meta. Although, if players starts mastering or remastering the assassin role once again, which is heavily suggested for the jungle position, Chango might struggle. But we'll see. Again, we are not yet into the normalizing phase of the Project Next patch, right? We're just on the rising action. We're yet to witness the effect and impact of Project Next.
Still, the climax is still to be hit.
It's still to be hit, yeah.
So,
well, here's one thing, Butters. I just realized we don't have to suffer on the Digi anymore.
Yeah.
Bye-bye Digi strategy. No more bans on Bren Esports for Digi.
Yeah. And I think the Digi strat, for the most part, or that Digi ban for the most part, is a waste.
Yeah, it's a totally
you can ban out another hero that's really strong for that slot.
Yeah,
but
I'm just glad we won't see it again.
I mean, it was creative, but
it was creative, but
it got old fast.
Got old, so it didn't age well.
It didn't age well. It didn't really age well. So, Alice is here. There's a significant rework on this Alice. Now, her ultimate is toggled. It doesn't have a cooldown anymore. So, you can just pick it up, and there is a magic mana regeneration for her orbs. So if you get those, you get more lane sustain, and you actually can fight against those heroes.
It's
Well,
a pretty strong
it's pretty
adjustment.
strong.
Alright.
And the Blood Ode, it it had a bit of a decrease in terms of cooldown, so it can be spammable right now, even especially with that new passive
blood.
that you get
Ah.
mana regeneration with the orbs.
Yes, well, let's wait, ladies and gentlemen, here as I cannot but feel Bren Esports is yet to reveal their 2 cores here. Normally, we're starting to acknowledge 2 cores in the game, one being the jungler and one being the full carry, but sometimes they still do the 1-3-1. Alright, we're seeing a Claude.
Of course, Claude. It's one of those heroes that, how do I say this, can get the retribution without even thinking that they're gonna suffer, because Claude with the BMI can just go in and out, use the Blazing Duet, and just get out of harm's way if he has to. That's how the Claude maneuvers. So if you see like Alice or Ling throwing out their ultimates, you can just go in and try to kill everyone.
But you know, yeah, and the thing here matters about Claude is there's just really a lot of gold in the early game.
Yeah.
And Claude, all Claude needs is, well, 2 items really, right? But even that 1 item easily accelerates your way towards your second core item. But I love this. Right now, we are accounting for the setup of these 2 teams. Clearly, both of them are utilizing single cores only in the form of Claude for Bren Esports, Ling still for Omega. I cannot but feel that these 2 carries are also the junglers. Right? Will be the retribution holder.
So this is surprising. They still go for that certain 1-3-1 setup, but they secured good off-laner, side laners on their side. And if you can see here, Rebo is with the Popol and Koopa side lane. I expected this to just come out because there's this thing about Popol and Koopa that they can lane dominate as long as Popol and Koopa are together.
Yeah, and the support would still be Chango, right? Chango. So, if I'm not mistaken, on the 1-1-3 or on the 1-3-1 setup for the Project Next patch, you have the mid laner for the support position. That's the one you're gonna be leaving here, and occasionally the jungler, the one with the retribution, would just visit the side lanes. Actually, not the mid lane, because why side lane? He wants to target the gold lane, honestly. You want to target those shield and again, try to make a push using a 1-1-3 setup. And again, Chango is really good on maintaining your lane. It's very, very hard to push against the Chango if you're just relying on the minions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just very, very excited about this match. I'm actually glad not much has been changed from our previous team setups. But still, change is change, and change will be there. Change will be there.
And
change will be there for
change
for the whole game, right?
It's still the same idea that Bren has been living on, that Chang'o and Cho set up the concussive blast and the pokes coming out from the Chang'o. They have high first blood capability here to the side of Bren Esports. So I think Omega should look out for a flicker coming out from the Cho.
Yeah. Well, that is expected.
That is expected.
Lusty.
It's Lusty. I mean,
right?
Lusty will just try to go for that trade.
Yeah.
It's how he goes. Like, there's this certain thing about Lusty that it's okay if he dies as long as the enemy dies first.
Yeah, is disrupted. And there are 2 points of heavy conflict here, guys. One would be of the jungle, but more so on side lanes. I think on the side lane, especially on the gold lane. Especially when a team is trying to get a good chunk out of that bonus gold with the shield protection, right? So you'd want to account that, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. Right now we just have a technical pause here for our teams, ladies and gentlemen. And so far, well, we have to account for the first rotation.
Yeah,
that's the thing. We have to account what jungle comp will they be targeting first? Who will be assisting who? Right? I do believe there is still a leash mechanic here, right? But again, it's totally not encouraged to always go with your jungler, because again, there is a damage reduction in the creeps.
I think in a way, Shinbu, not much will change, because the thing is, for the previous meta, you clearly have to put it in a way or see it in a way that after the first wave, the support doesn't really go out of lane anymore.
Yeah,
What the support does is she tries to clear that second wave alone. So that
just the
they
mid
can
lane.
he can get full minion gold,
Yes.
XP,
Yes.
and he can maneuver to level 4
Yeah.
and get that mask going for on inside if they're ever gonna go for that
Yeah.
dual mask
Well,
setup.
here we go. Let's see here, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be our very first game for the very first series of the very first day of the 6th week of the MPL Season 6 regular season. Bren Esports versus Omega. Alright, so Cloud will be targeting the Fiend here, whereas Hajizi will start on the purple buff. Both are just doing assist here for the lane because you'd want to at least get lane advantage.
Oh!
Yeah, force a flicker against Few. Nice gank there by Hit.
Did you notice something new for Few?
Right, what?
He went straight for the second skill first, not the first.
Alright.
Because the thing is, there is a plus 20 bonus on your physical attacks.
Yeah, on your physical, I actually go with the second skill first
Yeah.
if I want to win the
Yeah.
lane, honestly.
But for some actually, they go for the first skill
first, yeah.
because it's a bit of a poke.
Yeah.
But now, I think it's more reliable to just go for this because in the early levels, that 20 damage
Yeah, look at that.
actually makes sense.
Yeah, and especially on your attack for the minions. Hit is starting to disrupt more than Lusty here, honestly. Alright.
And look at this, they're sticking together and they know that they have to leave Carl.
They have to leave Carl.
They
yeah.
have to leave Carl because if Carl doesn't get that alone, it will take a lot of time. And 15 plus 15, that's 30% of damage view.
Whoa, so it's gonna be Few that will be their target here. Hit, once again, I think he's more disruptive here than Lusty. And there's also a good follow-up there by Hajizi.
So, I'm guessing there's a bit of a discord or how do I say this? Problem on the side of Bren Esports because of what Heath did. He delayed. He actually delayed
Yeah.
the farm here of Kartzi. I mean, Kartzi didn't really get affected that much because Kartzi has the retribution. But then again, someone died on their side just because of that rotation.
And that's how they will solve build.
Yeah.
What they did, they sent Flap TC with the execute. So that there's an early burst onto Hit. Bye-bye Hit.
So, okay. So for the side of Bren Esports, as long as this game is dragging, they will get more out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still
Yeah.
it's
Still a
Cloud.
Cloud. Yeah. And you still want to account for that. And I think Kartzi knows what's up. Kartzi knows that Hit is just there trying to disrupt. And so far, yeah, we still have okay. So there is the first rotation by Kartzi. Note for the fact that he is not accompanied by Lusty here.
And look at Flapsy here.
Flapsy here forced to use the Black Dragon form. And he is the one being forced out of his lane. This is the 1-1-3 setup. And there goes Hit. He knows what's up. And this is the 1-1-3 setup we are talking about. Not anymore 1-0-4 or 4-0-1. You really want someone stay in the mid and just allocate 2 members to gank aside.
You just have to make your pick of Snappy. And this
Yeah.
is what Omega is doing. Carl getting caught out. BMI, just to get out.
Yeah.
And XP lane is on top. Gold lane is on top. XP lane is at bot.
Yeah, and for that part, it is Omega's gonna be leading, right? Curls is kind of untouchable. There's Lusty. Alright, direct kick.
And look at this. They just went in.
Yeah,
Lusty.
it just went in, right?
I mean, if you guys, some of the viewers here are having trouble to dictate how to see whether that's the gold lane or the XP lane without looking at the map, I know that some of the people don't really, pick up as fast as other people.
Yeah.
You can just check the wagons on what they're carrying.
Yeah,
If they're carrying
yes.
gold,
Or
that's
scrolls.
the gold lane.
Yeah.
If they're carrying the scrolls, that's the XP lane.
EXP lane, guys. So right now, for your viewing experience, the AXP lane is on the bottom lane. The gold lane is actually up top.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's actually a quick attempt there by Kalzi on trying to visit the lane of Kurtz so that he can get at least some chunk of that gold lane. A nice and very beautiful flicker to the ejector down onto Few, and now Few is the one getting punished here. And that's what we are talking about. Sometimes that very safe mid laner might suffer from assassins, and Kurtz here just going for the wrap around is still gonna be the target here, and that's a very big win there by Omega.
Oh, this is actually surprising. Omega making sure that they make this game count. And remember, Onyx Esports is the only one to take a chip in the shoulder here of Bren Esports. Their invulnerable state. Onyx Esports was able to take one game away from them. But there's the Gillette instant replay, hashtag shave the day. Look at how dominant the Omega squad in terms of getting their pickoffs. They go straight for Kartzi after. Haji didn't even bother going for a flap.
Yeah.
Because he knows that flap is in a bad situation anyway. So why contribute when I can go straight for Karl?
Yeah, yeah. It's always rewarding to just target Karl. Always rewarding to just target the main carry here of the enemy team. Still, Few will just be doing the same thing over and over again. Even though he died, even though there's a lot of pressure established by Omega towards him, his ult will still be online. As long as he got his level 4, that's totally spammable. There's still a lot of control here for this mid lane side. And the thing here is that a heavy gold was given to the chunk of Omega on the top lane side. That is already a very early turret secured. Actually, side lanes, I forgot. On the side lane side. So, we're kind of correct on the accounting for the side laners here of Omega being quite explosive against Bren.
And Bren Esports, they're not fighting in any way here. They're just letting Omega get whatever they want right now. Because they know if they play the long game, they will have a certain amount of advantage.
Yes,
as long as Kartzi doesn't go down.
Remember, guys, in this running meta as well, in this new update, oh no, Kartzi get caught. There might be a catch there by HGC, not going to be competing for a dive. But again, for this Project Next patch, games will be longer.
Games will be longer.
Games will be longer because of the turret protection.
Because, you know what, Shinbu, that 3-minute mark,
Yeah.
that 210-second setup for that turret plating, that turret shield, it's really just gonna slow down people.
Yeah, it's really just gonna slow down people, even in the rotations, because you have to really stay on your lane. You have to maintain, if not push or shove or win a lane, and that's what's happening here. Again, this is the strat of the Chango. Look at that. The side lanes are suffering, but because of Pew here, really no pressure can be established here for the side lane without having to dive. But there is a very effective diver onto the side of Omega, and that would be of Hit. Onto the side, that's going to be Hit, Karl Z. That's going to be the Yuzong going down, and ZZ goes for the dive. He will be casting the Blade of Tempest just to walk away. And still, what Omega is doing is they know their tempo, and they're choking Bren here. If should ever Bren tries to engage, they will punish them.
Ice Queen Wand on Few, that will give him the certain utility that he needs, especially into clearing out these waves. They are not letting Omega get this middle lane turret. I like how they're playing this. They're not really putting Omega in front for the map control setup that they're going for right now. It will be very problematic for Bren Esports to just give this out, because the thing is, those side lanes or side minions, side jungles, it's going to be open for the side of Omega.
And this is the problem of you trying to rotate actually onto another lane. Omega here with the 22 seconds timer, I think they might be able to get a shove, to get a push here for the mid lane side. And also, I want to account of the Ruby pick. I think Ruby will shine heavily on this patch. Ruby is really good at doing lane maintenance. She's really, really good whenever someone is trying to dive her under turret. Yeah, you know, that combo, that flicker, especially of that We Are Angry ultimate. And yeah, I think the side lanes really, I mean, as evident and as visible here for our game, the side lane really is where the Omega's win is coming from. We might be seeing the very first one-sided lose here of Bren.
It's 3-4-3 in terms of the turtle department here for the side of Omega.
Yeah.
And you know what? Lusty isn't really getting this dominance into just going in front of the enemies. Claude goes down once again.
GC making short work of Curtizi actually as the Claude goes down, as you mentioned. And there we go. There's going to be the complete push for this outer mid lane turret, ladies and gentlemen. And down for the bottom lane, that's going to be Baptiste forced again to use his Black Dragon form. Hit is just waiting for a proper timing as Revo kites back. The damage is evident here for the side of the Omega, and that would be it. The Dragon gets laid on human form. There's also the Duccio that will come along. And now also Few, the third one, and I think this game is kind of as good as won by Omega against Bren. It seems that Omega is not willing to let up their lead.
Haji Z, Hayes, Kurt Z, Heath, Toshi. Are they the ones who's gonna stop the streak coming out from Bren? Remember, this team, we did not really give them, let's say we did not give them, you know, the proper acknowledgement into just, how do I say this, adjusting?
Yeah,
adjusting fast. But
we kind of, but still against Bren.
Yes, still against
we're
Bren.
thinking.
We really thought that Bren Esports, they can adapt fast, but Omega here, they have a certain understanding of this meta that Bren Esports, they cannot touch it, it's invulnerable to them, and they cannot get it.
Especially the Jawhead, man. Especially the Jawhead on the
Especially
hit.
the
I kind of
Jawhead.
but feel that it is going to be the Jawhead that enabled a lot of things here for the side of the Omega. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a 9-minute. We're about to enter actually the 10-minute mark of this game. Still no turret was pushed out to the side here of Bren. That's going to be Kurtzy receiving the whole damage, the whole brute force of a Fuse Meteor Shower.
They can, for Omega here, yes, they are winning, but they cannot give out these easy pickups on the side of Bren Esports. We do know that Bren Esports, if you give them an opening, they will try to break that opening apart and make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and they will win from that. So, Omega, they're doing a great job, but right now, they have to be very careful.
Yeah, Black Dragon form once again onto Flaptizi as Lusty is being dueled up here by Hit, but here goes Hajizi. Really, Hajizi is a carry very willing to actually participate in fights. But it might be it. I can sense, even in the gold graph here, that something is plateauing onto the side of Omega, as it is more difficult, honestly, anyway. It is more difficult to actually push an inner turret compared to the outer turret.
Gold is gold, but if you think about it, slowly but surely, Bren Esports is catching up. And you do have a Rebo to zone out on that Popol and Koopa. You have Few to push out the waves with the Meteor Shower. They're not using it to contest anything. And they catch out Toshi here. Oh my goodness.
That is big, ladies and gentlemen. Lusty here also staying down for the mid. He has to dash out. And we got the lure getting focused on by the Omega squad. Aribo not willing to let up. He's going to go for this lure. It is going to be secured quickly by Hajizi's Retribution. And down for the party, it would be a hit down from the front side. And of course, Hajizi running onto the back as he caught Carl Tizzy quite quick.
That was
way
fast.
faster than Omega. Yeah, way faster than his teammates can really follow up. That is a very, very effective assassination there by Hajizi.
I just have to say, map awareness for Hajizi to not be trigger happy into going for those for people in front of him, but he went straight to the back
line.
He saw Claude and he punctured Claude like how do you say this? What's a sewing ball where you put the needles in?
Like a sewing ball.
A sewing ball. Probably a sewing ball. He punctured Claude here, and Claude can't really do anything. He doesn't have his items yet. I think the next item for him is going to be the Golden Staff.
Yeah.
He has the Demon Hunter Sword, but Haji as well has it.
Yeah, and the thing here is there's a lot of snappiness, as you keep on mentioning onto the earlier onto the lanes, that whenever you want to be really snappy, there's a lot of snappiness onto Hit. Right, I mean, Hit is just, you know, if not staying in the middle, zoning out people, being always a visible threat against the enemy. Hit will just initiate quickly for you. And look at here, Flaptizi decides to do it up with a GZ. What is he thinking? There we go. They have to fall back in Black Dragon form into the front line. It would be of Toshi playing, of course, his Winter Trance just to go in.
Oh!
He goes in with a flicker. We are angry combination after the destruction of the Millennium Inhibitor turret, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be focusing in onto this base. Omega takes the most one-sided victory of a team against Bren Esports.
And
oh my God.
people were debating who can beat Bren last week in Usapang MPL.
Yeah?
How do I say this? The talk about MPL.
The talk about MPL.
So,
MPL
now,
chit chat?
MPL chit chat.
Yeah?
Omega,
Oh my God.
they're one win away from winning a
They're
series.
one win from winning a series, honestly, against Bren. And it looks like, from the looks of it, from the looks of it, we are kind of eyeing a 2-0 here. Something needs to be done on the side of our Bren Esports. That is a win streak that is hanging by the cliff's edge. Butters.
Oh my goodness! I'm actually excited for Omega here. We did say that Omega has been a bit wonky in terms of their performance, but right now, Omega just proved us wrong. As strong as Bren Esports are, Omega has showed us that the Titans can really bleed.
Yeah. Cannot
That
afford to give especially they cannot afford to lose this series. You know why? Because again, that will offset them by 3 points. That's 3 points not earned for today's episode, for today's matches, and Omega will rise to 19 points.
And
1 point behind them. Even though Omega has more number of games played still. Alright?
And a low-key team just giving Bren Esports a run for their money. I just feel that Bren Esports right now, they're trying to theory craft, or they're gonna pull out the big guns because they cannot afford to lose this series. Omega forced to ban out that Esmeralda, even though Esmeralda right now is back. he's not gonna be let out in the battlefield.
I would agree as well.
It's
Very
just
strong on
way
the lane.
too, way too
Very strong on the
problematic.
lane. Yeah, way too problematic on the lane. I feel like Esmeralda is really strong on the lane. Has very strong lane management. Has very strong ganking capacities. Has very strong tower diving capacities. And that's the thing about Esmeralda. I'm actually ranking her pretty high for this running meta. Khalid, no surprise on that one. But we might be seeing a Yuzong. I think teams has been more and more lenient now with the Yuzong, even before the Project Next patch.
There's a thing about the damage or the Athena shield, the Antikyras getting reworked and not really reworked, but their mechanics are a bit changed and it was raised from 6% to 10%. So if you think about it, the damage bursts coming out from these heroes, if you just pick up the right item for them, you can offset a lot of those damages coming out from the
likes of Yuzong.
Uranus, the
I see.
Yuzong.
Yeah, I see.
At least they're bearable. They're
Yeah.
tolerable.
Yeah.
They're not really that weak, but tolerable.
We've been hyping Hit as well. I forgot about Kurtz's performance
Yeah.
earlier. Kurtz was also instrumental. That was a lane. That is the very first lane one. And that was a gold lane. That was a gold lane. They actually had the Ruby go into the gold lane, right? Oh, it's pretty cool. Really neat idea because Ruby being ahead, right? You'd have someone reliable on setups, on dives even though. Not so snappy. But pick-offs, yeah, can be. Especially with the flicker to the We Are Angry, right?
And you know what, Shinbu, Omega, they will be happy to take the Jawhead right now.
They should.
It worked for their side.
Yeah.
Just being the annoying tank that runs around and rains on Cartesi's parade. Bren Esports, they got the Cho and the Alice.
Same lineup.
And they go for
Same
for the
drafting
same lineup.
sequence.
Yeah,
Same drafting sequence. I mean, no adjustment is visible here from the side of Bren, right? I mean, it would still be the same element. You'd have Hit. What Bren Esports need probably is not a Machango. They're gonna be removing the Chango. Kind of, but feel that there's a possibility. I'm not so sure about the Farsa, but maybe again, sorry, but I'm thinking of Lunox really here because Few has his fair share of playing Lunox for the support position. I'm just curious of how it will pan out for the lane and especially the early game survivability of the Lunox on that very aggressive Jawhead.
So, I'm kind of guessing right now, Shinbu, that a lot of these teams are gonna stay away from the Chango. I
They
feel
should,
that
yeah.
Bren Esports is gonna stay away from that.
Yeah,
I'm not really seeing it.
didn't
that
work
as a-
earlier,
yeah.
especially against the Jawhead.
It's not as strong anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, yes, the physical attack buff is there. The magical hybrid damage, it's there. But you know what? If you need to stick to someone just to go for the physical attacks, then that means Curtsy is in the area as well to flicker and throw you back in.
Yeah.
Or the Jawhead, not Curtsy.
Yeah. The one who's because it's Kurtz's job to actually hook someone. I mean, in the form of the scythe, and of course you get the Jawhead as well. For the ejector. So Omega here also eyeing the support. But I cannot but feel that this is where Omega might be confused. Cannot but feel that Bren Esports has a lot of tricks up their sleeve. And I think it might be rewarding to just target ban Kurtzy instead of Few here. Probably not the Claude, but probably something like a Roger maybe? I'm not so sure, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
And
Lancelot. Oh, yeah. All right. Yes, Lancelot. Yeah. Early
Yeah.
game, right? I mean, Jawhead will suffer against the Lancelot.
And good wave clear.
Yeah.
Very fast. You cannot expect the Jawhead to just be there in the vicinity and try to steal something because after they take down the orange buff fast, a Jawhead is gonna go next.
Jawhead is gonna go next.
Oh, and Bren Esports giving priority to the Kagura. Wow.
Yeah, very interesting actually. I did saw this on Few, but very, very rare occasions. Right?
Very rare occasions.
Very, very rare occasions. Like, he would even choose Lunox over the Kagura, but yeah, still.
There was no pattern where Bren Esports just prioritized Kagura over anyone.
Over anyone, yeah.
A lot of the teams here in the MPL, they chose Kagura.
Yeah.
And they chose Kagura. Bren Esports shied away.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Actually, I just realized no Selena ban.
No
Recently,
Selena ban,
right?
yeah.
No Selena ban recently, and now we have Selena here as the final pick of Omega. They're really looking confident on that part. Can I but feel that this is very threatening again with Jawhead. Oh my God.
Okay, so I actually think that the Selena is a good pick here.
Oh my God,
But
that is.
but Shinbu, Bren Esports has to look out for that combination that's gonna come
Yeah.
out from Ruby and Yuzhong. Because if Ruby and Yuzhong can get you guys in that circle and knocks you up, that is an ample amount of time to bring you all down.
Yeah.
But then again, for Bren Esports, they have good heroes now. They even have the Roger. They can go very aggressive. And the thing is, I don't, I don't really think that the Roger is quite a bit of a threat to the side of
Roger
Omega.
is stable.
Just because these heroes want to fight melee range, and that's what the Roger does.
Yeah.
So it's probably somewhat of a snowball composition here for the side of Bren Esports if they can do
Well,
it.
the better part here is this is an earlier composition.
Yeah.
This is an earlier composition compared to the Cloud composition of game number 1. But Phil, if Ruby, well, it's not gonna be Kurt Z who will be on the Ruby. It's gonna be Kurt Z on Yuzong and Toshi on Ruby. But if this turned out to be the same performance as game number 1, same impact as Jawhead, they should start punishing Hit right now. Then we might really have a 2-0 here because Omega's performance that is really strong. It has an impression, right?
I do get why Bren Esports went for Roger, because one of the things you do to beat a Selena is you force engage them every single time. Remember, Selena, when she has the time to poke you guys down with the arrow and just get a good initiation, just because she can, then that's the time where it actually hurts for the side of Bren Esports. But if they always force engage, it won't be a problem. And right now, they actually go in for a few.
Yeah, they went in for a few, and the idea is experience lane for Kurt Z. Alright, so what they do is they want to get an experience advantage for Kurt Z here. Kurt Z is level 2. Hajizi sits at level 1. Hit is now invading, but the problem here is Hit is invading against someone, against a carry which is a level 2. Pew is kiting back.
Oh.
Okay, we're trying to read the early rotations here. Rebo was forced to get onto the recall.
And look at Lusty here, not really caring about anything here. Hayes!
Ooh!
Wow!
Yeah, there goes the first blood. Actually, Pew also goes in. And he got cornered here. That's 2-4-0. So, that was a good attempt, I think, by Bren. It's just really, it fell short by a very, very little margin, especially of, I think it was of Hayes surviving.
Look at this Flap trying to go for that invade. But here is where the patch makes a lot of sense. You cannot just force yourself in and take that without the Hunter's Knife.
Yeah.
The Hunter's Knife made you capable of doing this. And it seems to me like Bren Esports, they're trying out new things. But it's not really working on their favor.
Let's look onto the Gillette instant replay here. Butters. One auto. He went for the flicker. Quite a bit late on the flicker, honestly. And that is the thing. There's a lot of damage there. And Hit always has a very high presence of mind in participating and making sure that he dishes out the most damage possible for his teammates. So, yeah, that is a good lead. And the worst part about it for Bren is that Hajizi was involved. He got 2 physical attack dagger lead compared to Roger here with the boots. But there's a very little lead. That's just 100 gold lead. Here, Lusty, he will be popped once again.
And look at how commanding this Jawhead pick is to the map. They're really just showing a lot of stuff that they can possibly pick off with this Jawhead.
Oh my god. That's a lot of crowd control. And the problem there is, look at the durability there of Hit. And it allows for Hajizi to just clean up. Your eyebrows are meeting, but
Oh my god.
We are all shocked.
This is absurd. Like,
yeah, very absurd.
this is absurd. I mean, Heath, I'm not really looking at it in a way that Omega cannot beat Bren, but the amount of pressure that a Jawhead and a Selena puts into the map, I cannot fathom how pressured Bren Esports is right now.
And Hit is on a support emblem. Hit is on a that's not a tank emblem even. Not even a fighter emblem. So look at that. That is crazy, man. Very curious on the. I forgot to look at his first score item. I would be expecting a mass here, but right now, early game control. That's very big lead. That's 3,000 onto the side of Omega here. And now they're starting onto the turtle. Losty again. You know, very far performance here on the backshot compared to the Cho earlier that forces the side laners to participate, and they don't care. Even if Rebo diving in, forced to actually flicker up with his blood ult already turned on. Re-engage comes in, hit gets focused once again, and Toshi is there to follow through. There goes Flux, he goes for the knockup, flickers away, and that's what Toshi has done.
And
Man!
while that's
Omega!
happening, Curtsy going for that turret. Now, you can see that there is quite a significant change in the turret damage.
Yeah.
Turret damage that you can do. It's reduced to make sure that the laning stage sticks for a bit. Now, Omega, they're commanding this
game, and here's the thing. Because of the side laner, because of Flapteezy, because of Flapteezy being forced to participate in the mid lane, now Kurtzy has the level advantage. I cannot but feel that Flapteezy missed a few scroll siege minions, experienced minions on the bottom lane, and Kurtzy has the lead in terms of level. And here's the thing about the levels that scales really, really well in the early game with execution. The higher the level, the higher the damage of execution will be.
They can really not understand what Omega is doing here. It's just pressure after pressure.
Yeah.
Even Rebo.
Look at it.
Even Rebo is finding trouble into the top lane.
Nice pick up on the hit. Lusty shouldn't overstay. And there goes the GC. He wants to bait in. He goes for the dive in. Also, the Blade of Tempest allowed for Kurtzy to make the cleanup. And there goes Bren. They try to re-engage. They will be punished as they get avenged here by the members of Omega. And that's it. That's going to be it. Rebo also went for the dive onto Toast. But where's the damage of Pew? Is yet to drop his own umbrella there. That's going to be a total trade of 3-4-1. And it's going to be won by OMG.
Clearly, Omega has the damage output advantage here against Bren Esports. Even if Carl got the 2 kills, he did not survive that.
Yeah.
And that means they cannot turn it into an objective.
Yeah.
It's still a 3v2.
Yeah.
Omega here still winning because they have objectives on their side.
Yeah. Especially with the turret shield that was taken in by the Omega squad. That is a lot of gold. That is a lot of acceleration for them. Flapsy. Okay.
He survives.
Yeah,
Doesn't have the flicker.
Yeah, I think also Hayes went for a very late flicker on that part. He went for the flicker maybe to go for the bite. But there goes another fight here onto the turtle side. Kurtzy focuses on towards Rebo. Doesn't care. He has the lead. Yet to press his execution. And there we go. Kurtzy dueling here. Kurtzy dueling Kurtzy here. Lots of Z actually whenever these two teams fight. Doesn't matter though. It's a win by Bren Esports 1-0.
What is the true TZ connection? Is it Hajizi and TZ, Kurtzy, or Kurtzy and Flapteezy?
Yes.
Who is the real TZ connection?
It's the real
here?
TZ, man. You get the real Slim Shady, but here in PH you get the real TZ.
Slim
the real
TZ.
Slim TZ, the Slim TZs.
The Slim TZs. Man, oh man, Bren Esports here. They are on the verge of losing this series, but you know what, Omega? They are still capable of making mistakes.
Look at the
as
gold
well as
lead
Bren
here.
Esports.
Look at the gold lead here, man.
Yeah.
5K almost onto Hajizi, 3.6 onto Kurtzy. This is Project Next.
I think Ling is exceptional right now.
Yeah.
Seeing how imperative for you to rotate fast into the map.
And get objectives, right?
Oh!
And participate in the lanes and win the lanes here. But of course, Bren Esports will be able to secure the turtle. It's still going to be the same story. No patch update can actually hinder him on stealing the turtle. And that's it. That's going to be Bren going for the cleanup. Quite late here for the entrance of Flapteezy. It doesn't matter though. And there we go. 3-4-0. Bren Esports gonna go for Toshi. And yes, that's it. 4 members here into the pocket of Bren.
One collapse is all it takes. Omega here.
Oh!
They tried to secure the kill on Hajizi.
Yeah.
And Hajizi went in to what? To take down that siege cannon.
Yeah, just to take the siege cannon for that part. Bren was able to capitalize here. Let's see the Gillette instant replay here.
Now, you're seeing this Shinbu, that retribution was perfect. RNG was on their side. Carl went for the artillery. He went for the backlines first for Selena so that there are no more arrows that you're gonna fly out and disable them.
Yeah, and also I think Cartesi was able to face out with that light and bounce. That's why no clear target to the Cartesi. But it will be a different story here. Hajisi engages on the Cartesi. And also gonna be an airborne here delivered by Flaptisi towards Hajisi. Hajisi points him. And of course Cartesi following up onto Rebo, ladies and gentlemen, with the blood out already on. Toshi onto the back line. Lusty as well on this outer mid lane inhibitor turret and also mid lane turret. And they get few as well dancing around. Toshi has the durability for this, allowing Kurt Z to actually go for the push.
Talk
Maybe a fight.
about overstaying your welcome, Rebo, just connecting with that flowing blood and that blood
Look
off.
at Toshi.
And Rebo gets
Man.
popped by Toshi.
Yeah, I mean, only sights coming in from Toshi there as Rebo is just making sure that Toshi doesn't leave, doesn't respond to go for a dive here on the mid, but at the cost of his own life. No sustain can withstand here. The sights on Toshi, not having to actually have the Deadly Blade even. Just has close and endless battle and a Vitality Crystal. Oh my god.
I think that's one of the problems here for the side of Bren Esports. Yes, it's a good alternative against a Raptor Machete, but, you know, it sets you back on the important items, on your core items.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna proceed in making that to a halberd.
Yeah. That's the sacrifice you get.
That's a
actually.
sacrifice you get.
For the
And I think
Deadly Blade.
I think it puts them on the backslide.
Especially if you're behind.
Yeah.
Especially if the team is behind. Right?
Rebo,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, look at that pop coming out from
Hajizi.
Hajizi and Kurtzi. Okay, Omega is working in a way that they really just want to pressure every single lane here on the side of Bren Esports.
Yeah. I mean that's the story of the game ever since even before the Project Next. It's just that it is more rewarding.
It's more
very
rewarding right
rewarding
now.
to actually get the pressure onto the lanes. Flapsy commits to his way of the dragon, commits to his death, and of course Bren Esports gonna follow up. And that's it. Lusty wasn't able to back out very quick. Rebo is, of course, he just came from the base. Really no chance of going in. Now that is, I'm not accounting for mistakes here on Bren, but that is a clear mistake there by Flapsy.
I don't know why he went in for the commit on that way of the dragon.
Yeah.
There was really no way
For Bren
that you can get the kill on
yeah.
Heath. If that was a Ling, I would have
Yeah.
understood that.
Yeah, and
because
all in
that-
on healing.
That means Karlsy can just go in with a Lycan bounce
Especially
and just
without purification on
take him
Hajiji.
down. And probably it would stop Omega from taking down the Lord. But if it's a Jawhead, you don't
Yeah.
really do that.
You don't really do that. Fully commit onto that one. He doesn't even need to land the ejector. He just need to activate the smart missiles for that part. There's gonna be an easy catch there for Rebo. Can have that feel that this is really a leaning tower. Getting brought down by a slight push by the Omega here. And then escalates very, very quickly. Hit here, focusing towards TZ. And now a follow-up dot in by Toshi quite late. Now they're focusing towards Lusty. Lusty shell gets cracked. And it's going to be a trade of 1-for-1 with the buff going to the side of Omega.
You know what? While everything of that is happening onto the map, Haji and the others, they just go for the split. There is a Lord into the bottom lane of Bren
Yeah.
Esports here.
3 lanes.
Problems on 3 lanes.
Yeah. You know, this Hurlder just piles up and piles up for the side. And against Bren Esports, ladies and gentlemen, at 17-8. And my, oh my, this is totally surprising against a team that has the longest win streak here at our regular season. This is going to be their very first defeat. If ever this goes fully and gets shoved completely against their base, a miracle here is required to save the streak. Ladies and gentlemen, and there goes Flaptz. He went for the flicker, just connects the way of the dragon onto Hajizi. There's gonna be Kartz not allowed to actually cast the Lycan bounce, and that's it. Hajizi will be able to walk away. Lusty also follows through along with Rebo, and the fight breaks out. Hajizi re-engaged with a full health. Where is this coming from? And now let's see here. As he falls back, there is going to be hit quite quick on the flicker. And now we got here the push being done here by the members of Omega onto the inhibitor turret in the top lane side. Rebo going to be melted through by the members of Omega. And I think that's it. It's going to be pick after picks. And few will be the next one to be kicked out of life here by Omega.
Bren Esports, look at what one patch can do to the invulnerable ones. They looked unbeatable way back on the previous meta, but right now they're on their last legs.
They're on their last leg.
Will the streak stay alive?
Will the streak stay alive? It's actually flashing before their eyes. You know, kills after kills, a mega kill against their main carry, and that's it. Onto the base. The streak has ended, and this series closes in 2-0 for Omega.
For a team that had struggles into adjusting into the 6-ban setup to the 10-ban setup, Omega right now, they have a new understanding of the meta.
Yeah.
It fits them well. Jawhead and Selena.
Yeah, man.
Man, oh man.
Especially the Jawhead. Normally, a guy who would just be picking Cho, would just be picking, even an Akai, would go as far as an Akai, would pick a backshot, doesn't matter. Would also, is very threatening on a Hilda, got the Jawhead for the support position. I mean, we've seen our fair share of Jawhead support, but not to this effectivity, and of course, especially on this very, very surprising performance right after the Project Next patch. Omega, man.
And it didn't really take long for Bren Esports to suffer their first series loss in terms of Project Next. Omega feeling really confident right now, and they get 3 points. They're up 19, 1 point away from actually going up on the Bren Esports side in Group B.
I can recall interviewing Hit last week on my solo analyst segment. He did mention that when I asked what is his message to the other tanks of the league, he did mention that to be ready for the patch. The guy looks so ready, right?
And they proved that they proved that they have the understanding.
Well, let's see what can be understood for this game on our solo analyst segment.
Omega shocking us na sila pala ang makakatalo ngayon sa first series ng Bren Esports, giving them a total of quick maths, 19 points. Ang galing ko doon. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, napakalupit. Omega, bawing-bawi sa Bren Esports. Last time na nag-meet sila ay 2-0 din. At ngayon, 2-0 naman para sa side ng Omega. Looking at the items right now is, of course, gusto ko lang i-take note dito yung mga timestamps of the item, no? Kasi, of course, interesting items correctly for Carl TZ. Kasi this specific item, the first item spike of Carl TZ, nakuha niya ng 720. Meanwhile, already with Endless Battle na si GZ with 7-0-11. Sobrang convenient na score para kay GZ dito. I think sobrang laking factor talaga na nakukuha mo yung early gold funnel ng mga towers in a lane. And still, Bren Esports, they went again for the XP lane, Carl TZ. Meanwhile, later sa ating highlights, I think makikita natin dito yung pag-explore ni Heat sa buong mapa. But then again, even though Dorans lang, no? Dorans lang para kay Haze. Yung gamit niya dito to counter the anti-healing mechanic. It's all about the pick-offs for the side of Omega for the items. Let's look into the post-game stats, guys. Of course, pick-offs is the ultimate key para dito sa side ng Omega. Tignan nyo ngayon yung 3 main cores. Bang, bang. Oh, wow, galing ko magsulat. 3 main cores dito. Even Haze is halos magkakapantay yung kanilang damage output. Syempre si Heat siya na si Boy Sacrifice. Automatic yan. Medyo mababa yung kanyang damage output. Pero look, by the looks of that, guys, no? The pick-offs of the arrow, of the ejector, no? Tapos may Ruby ka pa na may sight hook. All of it, mabilis na pasok para sa Omega. Merong chance sana yung Bren Esports dito for a team fight. But then again, walang binigay na 5-on-5 collision ang side dito ng Omega. Probably isang beses lang. Looking at the Lord's lane and the Turtle's lane, 1:1. But then again, yung mga buffs and yung mga purple ay halos lahat napunta kay Hadjizi. 6 buffs in total. And gustong-gusto ng isang lane ang mga buffs natin. So, going into the smart highlights of the game, gusto ko lang again, emphasize natin yung sinabi ni Wolf dito. Bren Esports, again, beginning at the XP lane. But there comes a time, there you go, the Haze outplay. Sobrang crucial nung Haze outplay na to. Kasi if you're gonna look at the levels right now, magkakapantay. So, with that Haze outplay, kailangan ngayon mag-reset ng Bren Esports. Saglit, tanggalin natin yan. Mag-reset ng Bren Esports. Actually, if gonna look at the minimap, si Heat ay nag-e-explore lang dito banda. No? Nagsosolo value rin siya dyan. Nagsosolo value rin siya dyan. Just to spot out the positioning and probably get someone. Because again, story of the game, pick-ups for the side of Omega. If you're gonna look at the minimap right now, guys, yes, ang ganda, crucial to para sa Bren. Nice play for Cartesi. Pero look at the bottom lane and the top lane for the side of Bren Esports. It's all open. So it means that with the pick-up lineup for the side of Omega, mas madali silang makakakuha ng objectives, mas makakakuha kagad sila ng kills. Just like this one, the outplays from the arrows and the outplays from the ejector. And Haji Z mukhang bumalik na yung kanyang killer instinct, yung kanyang top caliber plays against Carl TZ. Again, if I'm not mistaken, there you go. Magmamatay ulit. 3 minutes inside the game. Actually 3 lang, no? So class 3. Yan, 'di ba? 3. Tapos syempre, meron ka bang ano diyan, divided by 3,000 actually. Yan, I love you 3,000 ang gold ng Team Omega. I-divide mo yan. Ay, plus pala yan. Ayan. I-divide mo yan sa 3. Ayan, nakalimutan ko na. Basically, 1K per minute. Ang galing ko mag-math! 1K per minute ang kalamangan dito ng Omega on the laning stage. Ilang items, ilang boots. Ilang boots ang mabibili mo dyan, men. 2 samgyup na yan. O, yan. So, ganoon kalamang ang Omega. Ang kailangan sana ng Bren that time was to get an outplay, get the Lord, and probably get more outplays din, no? So, with that, everything else, total snowball para dito sa side ng Team Omega. And, syempre, papasok tayo sa ating tinatawag na interview portion. So, bago tayo pumasok, there you go! Kakausapin natin ngayon si Mr. Fundamental, flexing the jacket, flexing the logo, Omega. Mr. Heat, congratulations. Congratulations on that game, man. Napakalupit. For the first time, kayo ang tumalo sa Bren Esports. Men, na pumasok yung bagong meta natin. Pumasok yung Project Next, no? Lalagyan kita ng next dyan. Next in line. Pumasok yung Project Next natin, pre. Pero, ang tanong ko ngayon, ano yung naging proseso ng Omega dito sa Project Next and coming to MPL?
Para sa akin, kasi parang hindi kami masyado affected sa sa bagong meta. Parang ganun pa rin naman ginawa namin. Tapos, parang naging aggressive kami dahil alam namin aggressive yung Bren. Parang, sinabayan namin.
Yeah. So, kumbaga, stick to basics, no? Ayaw nyo malito. Wala mo nang adlib. Yun ang naging way para dito ng Omega. For sure, napakasaya nyo ngayon, men. For sure, sobrang saya nyo na nakuha yung 2 points. And pangalawa kayo ngayon sa rankings, no? What can we expect pa rin sa Omega sa mga upcoming games? Talaga bang tutuluyan nyo na yung slot 1? Or silaksa?
Hindi. Siyempre, mas gagalingan pa namin dahil lahat ng kalaban namin pinaghahanda namin. Wala kaming minamaliit.
Yan. Pinaghahandaan nila. You know what, Omega, I think na sobrang saya nyo dyan. Anong magiging dinner nyo dyan mamaya?
Steak?
Ano?
Steak. Joke lang po.
Steak ba? Ayan. Syempre, Heat, man, congratulations once again. And syempre, binabati ko rin yung mother mo at saka yung ate mo, no, na action na alam naman natin. Nag-PM sa amin ni Kaibigan Pro. Pero syempre, ikaw, may pa-shoutout ka din. So, batiin mo muna. Lahat naman gusto mong batiin. And syempre, promote mo na din ang mga pages nyo.
Ayun po, shoutout sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa Omega. Pati na rin sa family ko, pati kay ate, kay Kuya. Pati na rin po sa girlfriend.
Yun? Sino?
Si Das.
Yeah. Alright, maraming salamat. Heat, Mr. Fundamental for Omega getting the first strike first blood, no? Gods do bleed talaga. Bren Esports, 20 pa rin ang kanilang puntos. Meanwhile, 19 na sa Omega. So, mga sinasabi kong digits ay score nila. Pero yung mga digits na nakikita nyo sa baba, yan ay ang ating giveaway code. So, bago pa kunin ng iba yan, kunin nyo na. Kumuha kayo ng notebook. Or actually, type nyo na lang sa keyboard. Mas madali. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi naman din ganoon kabilis yung mga kamay ng mga tropa natin. So, I think bilisan nyo na. So, sulat nyo na yan. 76BWRHZ4EBS5228Q5 bago pa may mauna. No? Isa-search nyo lang, no? So, ilalagay nyo lang ang MPL redeem code at pwede kayo manalo ng mga epic skins. Siyempre, nandiyan na din, of course, ang ating mythical raffle draw. Just visit bit.ly/MRD minus W7. Week 7 na tayo. Kung ikaw ay tuloy-tuloy na kasali since week 1, eh pwede ka pang makasali up until sa playoffs. And talagang, ang daming sumasali ngayon dyan. If I'm not mistaken, meron tayong extra 13,000 participants para sa ating medical raffle draw. All, of course, syempre, yan ay hatid. Syempre din ang ating mga sponsors. Syempre kasama dyan ang ating official tournament telco partner, ang Smart. Squad up, rank up, and keep up with your favorite teams. As Smart powers up your game with free games for all. Get up to 14 gig of Mobile Legends and Facebook Gaming for 7 total days.